Good nighty, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of late, but I decided to do a video. I wanted to do this video since yesterday, but I'm here right now with the time, so I want to do it. This pertains to a situation where there was an elderly woman, 75 years old to be exact, who was attacked in a coffee shop. From what I seen, she was arguing with the workers there. I didn't hear any footage, so I'm not going to conclude as to what they were conversing about. I seen her putting her hand up like we all do when we're expressing ourselves in frustration a lot of times, right? One of the workers put his hands against her like this to stop her. I mean, not that she was moving or going any forward, but he touched her. So she hit him. Now let's be realistic. When you're not in the best of moods and someone puts their hands on you to try to stop you and they're not your people and they just so happen to be from the other side, your first reaction is get up off me, don't touch me, don't touch me. And some of us are liable to swing, right? Now I'm not here to say whether she was right or wrong, but I heard a lot of people say, she's too old for that. By her age, she should have known X, Y, and Z. And that's a sensitive subject, so I'm not even going to get into that. That's somebody's grandmother, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's loved one. But what I do want to get into is stop judging people and putting yourself in people's shoes when you haven't been there, without analyzing the situation in full. It's easy for us to say what we would have done if we were in certain shoes. But what I've learned is that I can't go there because I've never been 75 years old. Life is frustrating. And when people open their mouth, I just look because it's like you can't even get yourself out of your toxic relationship, but you're judging somebody. It's like people judging Whitney Houston for having a hard time getting off cocaine and never getting off cocaine. But you can't even get off cigarettes. You can't even get off weed. But you sitting here judging somebody that got a full-blown coke addiction. You have not been in her shoes. Your addiction is totally different from hers. You understand what I'm saying? You never been there. Anyway, back to my point at hand. By 75 years old, most likely both your parents have passed away. You have probably watched all of your friends or some of your friends pass away. You have probably watched your favorite cousin and siblings pass away. Life is not easy. These situations are frustrating. You have probably faced brain aneurysms at that age, strokes, heart attacks, different types of surgery. That's another reason why I suggest people start changing their conversation and talk about things more positive, because in the future, your conversation going to change. You're going to be calling up your friend. Y'all ain't going to be talking about what such and such said or what such and such. Y'all going to be talking about y'all pain medication. You're going to be talking about how your leg was hurting the other day. So change your conversation to something more productive now. But back to my point. Until you get there, you cannot judge anybody. Life is a humbling experience. Hear me again when I say it. I have learned that life is a humbling experience. You cannot say what you have or would have done until you get yourself in certain situations. It's a lot of that going on. People talk about what younger black men in the inner cities, why they did this and why they did that and why they wind up in jail and why they wind up in the grave. You don't know what you would do if you were in their shoes. It's just easy for you to talk because you're not. You probably be scared to death, to be honest. You probably be a sucker and a coward and getting all type of things done to you. You know, you just don't know until you're in those shoes. Have people, it's like people comparing younger women to older women who don't even have any kids. It's like until this person reaches my age and they have children and they can prove that they can raise their child better than mine. They can prove that they can function in a household better than I do. They can prove that they can like level situations with a level headed mind as I do at times. You know, I've had my moments, trust me. But my point is you can't compare and contrast things that don't exist. We haven't had the same experiences yet for you to compare me or a woman to an older or younger. You understand what I'm saying? Stop the compare and contrast and just go live your life. You're missing out on your life. And you might find yourself in these people's shoes for opening your mouth because the Most High is real. And life is a humbling experience. I've seen things happen to people. I'm not going to open my mouth to say certain things because some of these people, they know me and I know them, and out of respect because I ain't worried about nothing. But I've seen things happen to people. You open your mouth, you say things, and you wind up in these situations. Be careful. Be careful. You don't know what people is going through at certain times. 75 years old. You know how much how much they've been through. You know how much pressure is on these people. You know how much they seen. You ain't been there yet. Don't fix your face and say what you would have done. I mean, we all do it. Don't get me wrong, but after a while, you gotta stop and think about it. You don't know what the hell you would have done.